The night before our wedding, Ethan entered Chloe's elite husband selection. He won. He slid our engagement ring onto her finger and held her hand up like he just won a lottery.
This is the kind of woman I deserve!
After the live stream cut, he called me.
Chloe's willing to overlook our engagement. You can stay on as my mistress. Play it smart. Once she's pregnant, I'll bring you in for her recovery.
My jaw locked. Not a single word came out. Then came the sound of rustling fabric through the phone. Intimate, unmistakable. I listened. Then I laughed. Ethan's voice turned to ice.
What's funny? Everyone in this city knows you are but my plaything. Begging me to take you back is your only option. You have no other choice.
He had no idea I would never be his mistress. And even less idea that just yesterday, Chloe's older brother had come to find me himself, with a betrothal gift 10 times anything the Harringtons could offer. The living room, the kitchen, the balcony, every surface bore the marks of what they'd been doing. The sounds from the bedroom continued.
Ethan, 5 years with Elena. Can you really just let that go?
Ethan held Chloe steady, each word deliberate.
If you hadn't made me wait 5 years for your stupid lottery, I never would have agreed to be with her in the first place.
Chloe's eyes curved.
Really, I don't believe you felt nothing for her.
Ethan laughed.
You don't know. Every time I held her, I kept her facing away from me. The moment I saw her face, I couldn't even get hard.
He kissed her smoothly, his gaze going warm.
I only imagined it was you so as to get through.
You're the only one who's ever moved me, Chloe. She is at most a doll.
I pressed my lips together, tilted my head back, blinked furiously. I had believed, foolishly, that he'd loved me, at least a little. I never imagined I was just a sex doll for the 5 years he spent waiting for her. I pushed the door open and met Ethan's eyes directly. He paused, then held my gaze, deliberate, almost daring, as he moved with exaggerated intent.
Finally came to your senses?
He was breathing hard, smug.
Getting back in isn't going to be easy anymore. Get on your knees. You can get up when we're done.
I kept my voice steady.
Ethan, I'm here to collect my things. We're done.
Ethan pulled away and looked at me like I'd told a joke.
Everyone in this city knows you've been chasing me for years, begging me to be with you, begging me to want you, begging me to marry you. And now you're done, Elena. Do you even believe that yourself?
I didn't want to argue. I started quietly gathering my things. When he saw I wasn't performing, something in his face went hard. He crossed the room and grabbed my wrist.
What is this? Do you have any idea who you are? How could you ever compare to Chloe?
Your family's entire net worth doesn't cover 2 of her handbags. What's wrong with me choosing her? Blame your parents for being useless. Blame yourself for being born into the wrong family. I'm getting married and I still offered you a spot as my mistress. What more do you want?
My eyes burned. I wrenched my wrist free.
I told you. We're done.
Ethan laughed, sharp and short.
Fine. Have it your way.
He turned back to Chloe, deliberately rocking the bed until it groaned. I drew a long breath and held it. One last look at the room that was supposed to be our future. I picked up my suitcase and walked out. I hadn't figured out what to tell my parents. My mother had hand-embroidered a wedding handkerchief for us. Tiny, careful stitches, meant to carry a lifetime of blessing. Whatever happened to me, I could take. But the moment I thought of them, grief came like a wave, and I couldn't stop it. I crouched on the sidewalk and cried. A black Bentley rolled to a stop in front of me. The window slid down. Julian's sharp profile came into view.
Get in.
I sat stiffly beside him, hyper-aware of every inch between us. Out of the corner of my eye, his injured leg. Rumor had it Julian was cold, volatile, borderline unhinged, that the disability had made him dangerous.
Have you made your decision?
His voice was low, the quiet authority of someone who expected to be obeyed. Truthfully, I hadn't let myself think about it. 30% of the Ashford Group's shares as a betrothal gift. It was an absurd number. I bit my lip.
Why me?
He could have any woman he wanted. Why spend half his fortune on me? Julian let out a soft laugh. His slender fingers gently stroked my hair.
Have you considered that it could only ever be you?
He turned, and I was forced to meet his gaze fully. What lived in his eyes startled me, a depth of possession that made my breath catch. Something overtook my better judgment. I nodded.
I'll do it.
The Harrington family had already informed my parents, with all the arrogance in the world, that the engagement was off. When I walked through the door intact, the relief on their faces was plain. I was still working out how to explain Julian when my parents exchanged a look and handed me a small box.
The Ashford family sent this.
I opened it. Inside was the Ashford matriarch's signet ring, passed down through every generation.
Sweetheart,
My mother's eyes went red.
whoever you choose to marry, your father and I only want you to be happy.
I looked at her and nodded hard. Though the engagement hadn't been made public, Julian still invited me to his birthday family dinner. I'd had a custom Patek Philippe watch made as a gift. I never expected to walk through the Ashford front doors and find Ethan already inside. The moment he saw me, his pupils shrank. He lunged forward and yanked me into a corner.
Elena, are you out of your mind? This is Julian Ashford's birthday dinner and you snuck in here. Chloe and I already announced our engagement. Making a scene at the Ashford estate isn't going to change anything. It'll just make me hate you more. Do you understand?
His self-importance was almost impressive. I was about to correct him when his eyes dropped to the gift in my hands. He rolled them with theatrical exhaustion.
Here we go again. You do the same thing every time we fight. You cry, you apologize, you show up with a gift, then you strip and lie on the bed like a dog. Can't you try something new? I know marrying me has always been your dream, but you can't live in a fantasy, Elena. Getting you a spot as my mace is genuinely generous of me. Learn to be grateful.
And once Chloe's pregnant, you can come help with her postpartum care. If Chloe likes you, the Ashford family might throw you enough to set your family up for life.
I had heard enough.
Ethan, I am not here to be your mistress, and that gift is not for you.
His expression shifted. Before I could react, he tore the box from my hands and ripped it open.
Give it back! I told you it's not for you!
I lunged. He shoved me to the ground with one foot and lifted the watch into the light.
Huh. The size is perfect. Still claiming it's not for me, playing hard to get now.
My eyes burned as I scrambled up.
Give it back.
Ethan raised his arm high, cold amusement all over his face.
Keep throwing your little tantrums, Elena, and you can kiss the mistress off for goodbye.
What exactly is going on here?
Chloe's voice, directly behind me. Ethan's arm dropped. A flicker of panic crossed his face.
Chloe, what are you doing down here?
My brother came down to meet someone personally.
Chloe's eyes moved between us, sharp and cold.
Of course I followed. I didn't expect to find you two flirting.
Ethan moved quickly to her side.
She showed up begging me to take her back. She even brought a watch as a peace offering. I was the only thing stopping her from barging into the party and causing a scene.
To prove it, he unclasped the watch and held it out. Chloe took it. She looked at it with open contempt.
This is what you show up with, Elena? This quality?
She flipped it over and let it fall. Then she drove her stiletto heel directly through the crystal face. It shattered like a spider's web. Tears broke free before I could stop them.
You want to compete with me? Know your place.
Something snapped. I flew at her and slapped her across the face.
You had no right! That was mine!
Chloe screamed, hands flying to her cheek.
You hit me! You actually hit me!
Ethan shoved me backward and rushed to check her face. Chloe raised a hand. Her bodyguards pinned my arms behind me. She looked up at Ethan, slow and deliberate.
Ethan, she hit me. What are you going to do about it?
Before I could process what was happening, Ethan turned and slapped me across the face. My left cheek ignited. I tasted blood at the corner of my mouth.
Let go of me, Ethan! That gift was never for you!
I've been too lenient with you. This is what you've earned.
And then he just kept going, one strike after another. At some point, I started losing track. The ringing in my ears swallowed every other sound. Through the blur, I could make out Chloe holding up her phone, filming, grinning. Ethan said,
Last one. Get yourself under control, Elena. If you ever lay a hand on Chloe again, I will cut you off completely. You won't even have the mistress option to fall back on.
The final blow landed. A tooth hit the floor. The room went black. When I opened my eyes, the air smelled of antiseptic. My mother was slumped over the edge of my hospital bed, hair disheveled. The moment she saw me wake, tears streamed down her face.
Thank God. You're awake. I'll get the doctor.
I watched her hurry out. Something didn't add up. She was always so put together. Why was there dried mud caked into her clothes? My phone was overwhelmed with missed calls and messages from Julian. All 99 plus. I didn't want him to worry. I sent a quick lie. That my period cramps had knocked me out after I'd taken some medicine. A pause. Then one message came back. A small, goofy cat sticker. Rest well. I stared at it. Julian's unreadable face sending something this soft. It made me smile despite myself. He was nothing like the rumors. The doctor came, ran through the checks, declared nothing permanently damaged. I waited until she left.
Mom.
My mother shook her head and pulled me into a hug, her voice breaking.
You've been through enough.
Did they know what had happened?
Where's Dad?
I looked around. At that, she fell apart completely.
Sweetheart, your father and I, we failed you. We couldn't get justice for you.
I gripped her hand.
Mom. What happened?
A cold dread was already rising up my spine. She held out her phone with trembling fingers.
Someone sent us the video. You being beaten.
Your father, he couldn't stand it. He went to Ethan, demanded an apology, but the Harrington family wanted it buried. They threatened him, told him to delete the footage and keep his mouth shut. You know your father. He refused.
And then
Her hands were shaking too badly to hold the phone steady.
they broke his leg, Elena. Dragged him inside, and they're holding him. They said they won't release him until Ethan and Chloe's wedding is over.
The blood drained from my body.
Call Julian!
I was on my feet before the thought had fully formed. I told my mother to call Julian. Then I ran straight for the Harrington estate. I hammered the doorbell like I was trying to break it. My heart was slamming against my ribs. My father had a severe heart condition and high blood pressure. He could not survive this. The door swung open. Chloe stood in the frame, wearing a silk robe, watching me with lazy amusement.
Oh, back again.
I shoved past her and walked straight in. Ethan was shirtless in the hallway, glaring at me.
What is wrong with your family? You all just take turns showing up to harass me?
Where is my father, Ethan?
Ethan pulled Chloe into his side, entirely unbothered.
Relax. He's my former father-in-law, technically. I got him a doctor. We'll let him go once Chloe and I are married.
Release him now, or I go straight to Julian.
My hands were locked into fists. I didn't look away. Ethan's lip curled.
Who do you think you are, threatening me with Julian Ashford? Chloe is the most beloved princess of the Ashford family. What exactly are you?
Chloe nestled deeper into his arm and tilted her chin up.
My brother doles on me. Who do you think he's going to believe?
Tears were streaming before I could stop them.
Ethan, your father never treated you badly. I never treated you badly. Not once in 5 years. Do you have any conscience left at all?
Ethan's brow furrowed, the look of someone who thinks he's finally figured out the puzzle.
I knew it. You still haven't given up on marrying me. And your father, he was trying to blow up my wedding so he could push you on me instead. Elena, honestly, if there were no Chloe, you might have moved me. Maybe.
But you've completely disgusted me now. Have you no self-respect? Not even a shred of dignity? Why do you keep clinging to me?
Something inside me cracked wide open. I grabbed the ashtray off the nearest surface and hurled it at his head. Chloe screamed. Ethan doubled forward, blood streaming from his temple. He roared, closed the gap in 2 steps, and wrapped his hands around my throat, slamming me against the wall. Then, from the far corner, a figure dragged himself across the floor. My father, one leg bent at the wrong angle, crawling toward us on sheer will alone. He threw himself into Ethan and broke his grip.
You animal!
The words died in his throat. His hand went to his chest. He fell.
question at your